Despite perhaps earlier feeling Lil Bibby had gone the commercial route and left his brothers from the No Limit streets behind, as G Herbo's career progressed, he would get more and more options to take things mainstream. After his successful collab with industry heavy hitter Nicki Minaj, and a successful series of mixtapes dedicated to the friends he'd lost in the streets, on the 3rd of September 2015, Herbo would attempt to build a business around his ear for music, signing a record deal with CMG Cinematic Music Group and changing his stage name from Lil Herb to G Herbo, with the CMG founder praising his new assignee and business partner for creating cinematic songs that paint a vivid picture of street life in Chicago. And as well as a record deal, Herbo would get his own subsidiary record label, which he named after his block, 150 Dream Team. And G Herbo's first release as part of this album deal would be the suitably titled song No Limit, a track where Herbo would quite literally spell out his gang affiliations as a member of the No Limit Muskegon Boys. Herbo's ability to turn street pain into cinematic rap music would continue to be praised and rewarded, and in 2016 he would continue a steady climb to the top. On January 3rd, 2016, G Herbo and Lil Bibby dropped the music video for their new track Don't Worry. Clearly there were no signs of love lost between Herbo and Bibby at this point, who were both seeing the benefits of getting money in the music industry rather than in the streets. That track today sits at over 30 million plays on YouTube, perhaps helped by the fact that the song paints a cinematic picture of the dangerous life on Terrortown without going as far as to diss specific dead ops by name. A much more commercial friendly form of street music that would pay dividends going forward. As Herbo got more success through 2016, he would make public tweets about his dead friends believing in him, and by November he was appearing on The Breakfast Club, with Charlemagne making light of the violence in Chicago and joking from the start that Herbo's father probably killed people.
He probably killed people, so they ain't played with him.
Nah, I don't know, I ain't gonna lie, Pops.
But as things went on, this interview would be no joke, as Herbo opened up on the violence in Chicago being a result of the lack of leadership that the older generations of gangs in Terrortown perhaps had.
It was once upon a time where street dudes had morals and certain principles and think and move a certain way. Like, the shorties don't have guidance.
Herbo would also speak on moving out of the center of Chicago now that he'd found success in music.
I don't have a certain label where they're like, nah, just keep him away from you feel me? Like,
but did you move out the crib? Did you move away from Chicago? Or?
I moved away from where it's going down at, like the inner city, you feel me? But I'm still in Chicago. It's only two things that come with the streets.
Jail or death.
Jail or death. Every street dude know you have to take that extra step or that small sacrifice if you want to excel in life, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Herbo would say that over the last 2 years or so, he had made the conscious decision to distance himself from street activity.
When did you say, okay, let me get out of the street and really focus on my career in music?
I would say for like the past year and a half, 2 years, I just been super focused.
Herb would go on to explain that the reality of street life is much more negative than the music would make it seem, saying essentially that the streets have brought him nothing but pain over the years.
They haven't been through the situations where they lost 5 homies. You never hear nobody waiting outside your mother, your grandmother crib trying to kill you. I cried a lot of nights being in the streets. My mother crying. If I see my mother cry, that's gonna make me cry.
Right.
Herbo would end 2016 with his November 24th mixtape Strictly for My Fans, earning Herbo his first small taste of chart success, with the project landing at number 8 on the Billboard US Heat Seekers chart. And he would go on to spend the majority of 2017 building on that success and working up to the release of his debut album, Humble Beast, earning Herbo his very first entry on the Billboard 200 albums chart, landing at 21. And the 2018 deluxe version of Humble Beast featured the Chicago drill anthem Never Cared, which I would say goes down as having one of the hardest Chicago drill beats in history. Herbo was truly making his way in the music industry, with a major label behind him, a label imprint of his own, and the first of many hit records being recognized by the Billboard charts. He was finally getting the opportunity that so many who lost their lives in Terrortown would have only dreamed of. But sadly, whilst Herbo was making major moves, many were left behind in Terrortown, and the violence would only continue to escalate in Herbo's absence.